Michael Bay is back, and I gotta say, this is his best film of recent. It's good, folks. Go check it out. Let's jump into the review of the new film, Ambulance. What's up, folks, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Ambulance, which is coming to theaters April 8th. Like I said, Michael Bay is back, and I know there's always a little bit of hesitation, maybe a little reserve for Michael Bay, but this film I had a lot of fun with. And if you love Michael Bay, then you know exactly what you're getting. You know, so the real question is, well, what might he do different? What might he do more? And I will say that he's taken his skill to the next level. He really went crazy with some of these drone shots. But yes, all the explosions, all these cinematic panning shots that he does, the gleaming glare shot that he does, all those things are all in there. Yes, for sure. But it still feels like he's just really taking his talents to the next level. And I really enjoyed this. But by all means, it's Michael Bay. You know what you're getting, and that's what you got for sure. But this film was a long time coming. Remember it being announced some years ago. And then Michael Bay was very adamant about not doing any work during the pandemic, which is, you know, it was a hard time. And a lot of people lost money. A lot of people lost opportunity. So just for that sake, for this film to get released, it's still a really huge accomplishment. But a lot of people are liking it from what I've seen thus far. You know, I had to kind of peep into the cup of critics reviews and had to see what people were thinking, because, you know, I'm a little reserved about Michael Bay sometimes. You know, I like the Transformers franchise, but I gotta say some of it was a little overkill. But overall, it was still enjoyable, and I actually think that this one was enjoyable and actually just a good film. Yes, there was issues with it, but we'll talk about that. Other thing is, Michael Bay makes it very clear with how ambulance is spelled. He takes the L and the A and he illuminates it so that you absolutely know that it's in LA, shot in LA, and thus with a $40 million budget, you would imagine it was going to be a pretty penny with that. And being shot on location, he really utilized it. I mean, I just got back from LA not that long ago, and he really utilized some of the best parts of the city. So there's that. But with this though, yes, there was times that I felt like his techniques did cause me to get a little dizzy, but also I feel like I got used to it as the film continued to, the deeper and deeper they got into the film. Because yes, he got these crazy aerial shots, and it's clearly with a drone going up into the building, panning up, coming back down, you know, all these crazy little things that you kind of see, almost felt like a roller coaster. And like, thus the whole film was a roller coaster. So like, yes, there's that, but like, that was really the big standout for me, is just how he really used some of these really cool, tricky panning drone shots to really like heighten the action left and right. He makes some of even the simplest things very cinematic, and like, that's Michael Bay at his best. But you know, we'll talk about more Michael Bay stuff, but just in case you didn't know what this film is about, first of all, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and Eiza González. Now, Yahya plays Will Sharp. Will Sharp is ex-military, and while he has benefits and he has sort of a quality of life that he's able to sustain, his wife desperately needs a surgery, and the surgery is not going to be covered by his insurance because it is deemed a experimental procedure. So him needing $231,000, he has to go as his criminal brother in Danny, played by Jake. And of course, you know, they're brothers and they got a really close bond, you know, and yes, they're adopted brothers for whatever, for what it's worth. So, you know, let's not get into all that. They're adopted brothers. Danny is like, yeah, but also I need a favor from you, which talk about wrong place at the wrong time. He's like, hey, Will, I actually kind of need you like right now. You have 30 minutes to let me to decide if you want to be part of this bank robbery with me, which is going to get us a lot of money. Cause like, Will asked for $231,000, and he was like, well, how about 8 million? I think it was. And he was like, okay, cool. And so there's that. So yes, that becomes what seems to be a simple bank robbery, which actually wasn't. And during the process of this bank robbery, a police officer was shot. But in this case, this is where we see Will sort of have his, his military medic instincts to say, like, this guy doesn't need to die, so we're going to save him, which has him alongside with the EMT Cam Thompson, played by Eiza Miller, to say, like, we got to save him. But they're trying to save a cop while also being, obviously pursued by cops for all of the ramifications for everything they've done in terms of the bank robbery, trying to escape and whatnot. So Cam and Will and Danny are now on a chase in an ambulance from the cops, trying to save a life, also trying to get back home to their significant others and whatnot, or just home to their families, all at the same time. And it's a non-stop action thriller ride throughout LA. So there's that. There is a lot more information about the plot out there, and I actually think if you read on the plot, it doesn't necessarily spoil things. Like, there is some very much spoiler like substance about this out there, but I don't really think you care too much about the plot, because with Michael Bay, it's about the action, it's about the ride. You know where you may end up at, but it's about that journey getting to it. And with that being said, there was some comedy, some funny moments, definitely some one-liners that were kind of corny, but yes, I enjoyed it. Cinematography was beautiful, all those typical Michael Bay stuff. There was a Wale cameo in this. More than a cameo, he had a little bit of a role in that, which I was surprised. Wale here from the DMV, so definitely surprised to see Wale in the film. And I was very much just entertained, just even to this point. But like, the sound was intense, and like the zero gravity drone shots was so fantastic. And I don't know if I'll just say this now: the IMAX is the only way to check this film out. You need the heightened sound, the heightened visuals, the rumbling through the theaters. You need to experience this film the proper way, and IMAX is the way to go. We know Michael Bay likes to do it big, so go big with it. And then the cars. All types of crazy, I won't say exotic, but sports cars, Challengers, Chargers, all types of different things like that are in there. And you're getting all these crazy, all those shots that you see all the time. And just what he does with automobiles and just the car scenes, and just really like how he displays them and how they pull up and the engines revving. He just does it perfectly. Yes, and cars typically like to flip and explode. All that's going on here. It's Michael Bay, and he does it good. I mean, he clearly is a patriot. He loves the military. He loves the U.S. You get that U.S. flag shot. He's always going to nod towards the military, but the other thing he loves is absolutely cars. And when it comes to displaying cars in his films, they always look so beautiful, make you want to go out there and buy you a new one. But yeah, all the nice muscle cars. There was some imports as well too, shall I add. All that was in there. So yes, and even with that too, let's be clear now. We know Michael Bay films are impossible. And you have to just basically cancel your have disbelief. You have to have that. How it is. Whatever bit of imagination that you have, use it, and whatever bit of logic that you want to use, don't. And just enjoy the film for what it is. Don't be worrying about physics. Don't be worrying about all that other stuff. But on that note, this film absolutely will invoke a lot of commentary within the theaters. Folks arguing potentially about decisions being made, the questionable decisions and the turn of events, which buyer beware, because you may end up in a theater where somebody may try to hijack the theaters with their loud outbursts, clapping, and just all these sorts of different things and their shenanigans. Like, be aware of that, because this film definitely will invoke that. Like, it's not a question. There's going to be times where you're going to be like, why didn't they do that? They should have did that. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And you know how people are, folks. So like, definitely be aware for that. But don't worry though, because this film will probably be on Peacock very soon. It's a Universal Pictures, which therefore it's likely to land on Peacock very soon. But yeah, the acting, Yahya and Jake are really good together. First of all, Jake is on 1,000 the entire film. And Yahya really plays off of him really well and creates some stability, so it's not just one man yelling all the time and it's just like drowning him out. They really work well together. Like, it was their banter together really made some of the scenes where there wasn't any action, which was very minimal by the way, really work, because there was this top tier solid action the entire time. But yes, when it came down to the actors doing what they do, their personalities, their charisma, they really brought their characters to life. And Jake was just really fantastic. But yeah, dialogue was really good. This is easily a film that I say I will rewatch. I would say go buy. I would say go tell other folks to watch. I mean, it just was entertaining. It's literally a Friday night blockbuster popcorn film that you're going to have action from beginning to end. All the Michael Bay shots, all the Michael Bay tropes. Nice cars, car chases, explosions on explosions on explosions, all that stuff. And then with that being said, the third and final act really just takes things to the next level. Like, for real. And when you have this whole theme of brotherhood being tested and just the whole, you know, perspective of them on this ride together, potentially their final ride, I mean, the story even works, you know. And yes, there is absolutely holes within it. There is things that may be illogical to you and whatnot, but just suspend your belief. Just go with it for a little while and you will be okay. But the final act is dope. Loud action, loud score, loud sound effects. Everything gets turned up to 1,000. It's Michael Bay, folks. So totally, you know, like I said, this is Michael Bay's best film of current. I'm not gonna say of all time or to date, but definitely his best film of current or of recent. He really made sure that we got back to the world being open and available for this film to be released, because it had to be done the proper way. This was not a film that had needed to see straight to streaming or VOD or any of that sorts. It had to be done this way, and it's truly been a fun ride. I can't wait to watch it again, and I'm telling you, you make sure you go out the way to go do so. But Ambulance, folks, I hope I kind of explained what the film was about. I mean, it's Michael Bay, so who really cares about the plot? Just know that I had a fun time. I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat. The sound was good. The explosions was good. I was wowed by the cinematography. Things were just, man, I'm telling you, those drone techniques were just top tier. They were so good. And yes, if you don't know what the film's about, just look it up. I feel like I explained it good, but just so look it up, because there's information out there. People spoiling it and stuff already, and that's not even the part to even worry about, because if they spoil it, doesn't matter. It's about the ride. It's not where you're going. That's where this is at with this film. But yep, check it out, folks. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it when you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.